Welcome back to another episode of this mini series that we are doing on the Honest Business podcast around preparing for 2024, getting ready for the new year, just sort of resetting yourself and your business, and maybe covering some things that other people just maybe haven't thought of, or that you haven't heard from other people talk about. And today we're going to talk about a really big one, which is the one habit that you need to adopt in 2024 to guarantee that you hit your 2024 goals, which that's quite a big statement, right? It seems quite a big statement, but I am so true and believe fully in this, what I'm about to tell you. And it has been tested in the business and on multiple people's businesses that this works, that I feel really confident in saying that, like, if you really take this seriously and run with it and actually action it consistently all the time, that it really helps you hit your goals. Because this is what I do with people, and people say to me, how do you create that result, or how do they get that, or how did they do that so fast? And this is what it comes down to. So let's buckle up, let's get ready, let's go for it. The one thing I'm talking about here is I'm talking about a monthly business health check. It could be called many things, but that's what we're calling it today. And ultimately, a monthly business health check is a checkpoint in time in your business that you do on a consistent basis. I'm suggesting here monthly, where you understand the position of your business and what is it telling you? Where are you at? So this is a checkpoint, and it is a system that you install into your business. Now, for full exposure here, disclosure, I don't know what the word is. Year of Clarity, which is a program that I run that opens at this time of year, that is open now. It's open in November. It has a Black Friday promotional discount included in it. This is essentially what Year of Clarity is. But what I'm explaining to you today is that if you decide you don't want to join Year of Clarity, how can you do it yourself? And or if you listen to this and think, yeah, I really need to do this, and you want help to actually do it, then you come and join Year of Clarity. And when I say help to actually do it, you're the one that's still doing it, but you get to join a group of people so that you're consistently there every month on a live call, or it's also recorded, but ideally you join live, and you do it with a whole other group of entrepreneurs who are actively also working on their business, and you do your monthly business health check live. And you also get access to Q&A from me, which is super valuable and worth the money in itself. The whole episode is not about Year of Clarity per se, but I want to just provide some context to it so that you know as you listen to this episode. So, the reason that a monthly business health check is really important is that it provides a space for you to reflect objectively. And this is one of the biggest reasons that we created Year of Clarity, because when people tried to do this on their own, it wasn't very objective. So I do this with clients one-on-one. Like, people who have me in one-on-one advisory, we go through a certain version of this bespoke to their business on a monthly basis. Like, some people see me once a month, and technically we're sort of working through a rough framework of this when they come and see me. In terms of Year of Clarity, that's something that everybody does. It's sort of done with you, so everybody does it together. And you have a document, and it's much more, it's systemized. And the reason then systemization is important is because it actually allows you to make data-driven decisions. So when you create a reflective, conducive space that allows for thought to really take place, it means that when you make decisions in your business, they're much more data-driven, and ultimately it makes the decision making easier, because for a lot of people, they will then start making decisions more consistently and more frequently, which is a really big win. Now, how do you actually do a monthly business health check? So there's loads of different things that you can include. And in Year of Clarity, we don't include all of the things that I'm about to explain, because for some people, they don't need every single thing. It depends on the size of the business that you're operating. But I'm going to list out some options that you could include in your monthly business health check. So you need to understand, how are things going? So, like, a rough understanding of, how was the month? Was it good? Like, how are you feeling about it? You then might look at your operations department and what does that look like and mean to you. You might look at your financials and think about, what have your financials worked this month? Has it been a good month? Are you profitable? Are you not? That's a whole piece that you could look at. And, having a monthly financial kind of check-in and routine's really good, like a financial well-being routine's really positive. You then can look at sales and marketing and understand, have you had a good sales month? Have you not? Where's your marketing worked? Where hasn't it? Really analyzing it. And if you have a big business and if you are someone who is responsible, if you're a CEO and you're really needing to look at a bird's eye view of all of this, you need to be doing this, I would argue, one-on-one with someone who can objectively challenge you on all the different items in here. And you come and work with someone like me one-on-one, and we go through and we ensure that you have got all the things that we are talking about. However, if you haven't got a ginormous business and you're not running a huge team, you don't necessarily need every single piece of the puzzle of this, because your time's going to be better spent potentially elsewhere at other things. Year of Clarity has a mixture of different people inside of it. So we have, I don't know who's joining this year, as I'm currently speaking on this, but for the last 2 years, we've had a variety of different people in there. We've had people with just an idea and a start on their business. And we've also had people who have got teams of 15, 20 people and are generating multiple six figures. That tends to be the type of people that join us. So if you're listening to this and you're in the camp of you're generating 8 figures, I would say don't join Year of Clarity. You need to join, work with me one-on-one if that's something you want to do. And if you are in the camp of either you're, right at the start of your journey, or you're actively growing, and for a lot of people, they're making 6 figures, but they don't know where that's coming from, or they're making, even £1 million in revenue, and they don't actually know, they haven't got a handle on all these topics that I'm talking about. That's the kind of thing where you'd come and join Year of Clarity. Going back to the different pointers. So customers, you might look at sort of customers and feedback and how are they feeling and what is that all working out and what's delivery looking like. You might also look at your team. So you're going to look at productivity. You might want to look at engagement. Are they engaged? Are they not? What's happening with that? What challenges have you come across? This is really about understanding, like having a health check and seeing, like, on all these areas, where are you feeling? Are you feeling really positive, or are you not with them? You've then got tech and IT, which for some of you, that will need to be a monthly checkpoint. For others, it will be more of a quarterly one. For some of you, it might even be a yearly one, although I'd say probably not. But, not everybody's going to need a monthly tech kind of audit and look at. You then also want to look at legal and compliance. And again, for some of you, that's not going to be a big issue, but for others, you do need to look at that monthly. You also might look at sustainability and your CSR, so your corporate social responsibility, and what steps have been taken in those areas, what are your goals in those areas, and how has this month, that specific month that you're looking at, really indicated whether or not that's made any progress. That's something that can be quite nice to think about. The other thing you might want to consider in your monthly business health check is the feedback you've received. So across the whole of the business and all the stakeholders of the business, what feedback have you received? Has it been really strategic? Was it not? Was it helpful? Was it constructive? Was it just downright rude? But understanding what that feedback has been, what has the reviews been, really looking at that, it's a nice point for you to think, oh, yeah, I haven't really looked at that, because the day-to-day of it, you might not get a chance to look at it. So you need to have a monthly checkpoint where you're like, I'm checking in with all the different areas of the business here. This is definitely we're on to a winner. The other thing you would look at in your monthly business health check is just your general strategic output and focus points. And that's what we look at in Year of Clarity, where we really look at, what are you working towards? Is that aligned with your yearly goals? Is that aligned with your quarterly goals? What do you need to do in order to make sure that actually happens? And really sitting in the doingness of it and understanding, if that's the strategy, what's the plan? And then the strategic bit is the bit that matches up. Yeah, it's matching the strategy and the plan together to ensure that you're taking strategic action. Another thing would be that you look at your KPIs. And if you have some KPIs that don't sit in the kind of categories that I've just outlined, then you take those KPIs and you say, okay, well, where are we at with those? What's actually happening with them? Are we actually at a point that that's really working for us and that it's really useful? You also will look at your goals, and that's what we definitely do in Year of Clarity. We say, what are your goals? And are we going away from them? Are we going towards them? Have your goals shifted? For a lot of people, the goal is never actually the goal. Sometimes people realize that the goal that they're thinking they want, they don't want anymore. The other thing you can do with your monthly business health check is looking at what data collection have you got in place. So collecting data from all the different sources and then understanding what's the analysis and actually then using the analysis to do something with. So some of you might have team members who collate reports for you. And then it might be a case of you then working out, well, what are we going to do with those? Or where are we storing a cohesive monthly breakdown overview sort of dashboard for you to see at a glance of like September was this or January was this, and here's the reasons why we think that. Your monthly business health check might be that maybe team members create those reports for you, but you're then writing some kind of conversation around what your thoughts are on that and what does that mean for the organization going forwards. Those are the main hard, heavy hitters for a monthly business health check. There are other pieces that you can put in there, and when we create this for specific individual clients, then we can create them that matches their industry and what they need. But these are generally things that you want to look at. When I say that, this can guarantee that you hit your 2024 goals, I want to just talk about how. Because some people are like, how does this guarantee success? So I want to talk about it because it's really important. Because in order for you to get on board with the idea of why you're even going to do this, you kind of need to know how this is going to work. So the reason that this monthly health check system works is that it forces you to get clear. So it actually forces you to stop and think, and then it forces you to get clear on what actually is going on. Which sounds really simple. That sounds really doable. That sounds really obvious. The issue is that so many people, that just doesn't happen. Okay? So this is going to help you put a stop to things that aren't working. And the reason that is important is because many business owners I work with are doing things that haven't been working for months or weeks or more commonly years, but they haven't changed. When you have this monthly business health check, aka year of clarity in your business, it helps you to identify, hang on a minute, this isn't working, we need to stop this. So instead of you pouring more and more resource, more and more time, more and more money into various activities that aren't getting you closer to your goal, you can actually stop. And this is about early detection. And I think this is really, really important, okay? Early detection in a business of any kind of problem means that your solution will be a lot more beneficial and a lot less time consuming, that was the word, a lot more cost effective. Goodness me, really can't speak today. So that allows you to also then be really responsive to changing circumstances. So because we live in a world where it is unpredictable, the markets are unpredictable, things are happening, world events, lots and lots of external factors that we cannot predict, nor control, nor even monitor to some degree, that means that you have to be able to be responsive and agile in 2024. And we've talked about that in other episodes. Now, part of the way that you do that is through having a real solid pulse point at any one time of where your business is at. And the monthly business health check allows you to do that really, really well, really consistently. And so when the circumstances are changing, this then allows you to be really responsive. And then that also means that your business goals therefore keep being looked at and they're like, okay, are we moving forward with that? Are we not? No. Okay, how are we going to move forward? What's the next thing we're going to try? In amongst all of this, when you do this process consistently, month on month, year on year, you build a lot more resilience, because what you start to be able to do is start being able to look backwards and see the change that's happening in your business and see the change or the patterns of negative behavior that's happening in your business. And then you can identify and be like, this isn't going to work. That resilience helps to make sure that you create results, because it helps you to constantly know where you're going and what the next step is. And that in itself makes your 2024 goals way more likely to happen. Because one of the biggest issues we have is resilience and lack of it, and therefore the just strategy falls through. Because you have strategy and then it just doesn't happen in the execution, and therefore the goal doesn't get achieved. what is really important, I hope that you're taking from this, is about intentionality, and carving out space. And as I mentioned at the start, right, you can do this on your own. You don't have to, join something like Year of Clarity. However, I want you to get really honest and open with yourself about how likely are you to do this on your own? How likely are you to do this if you just put it in your diary? Or are you just going to sort of parve it off and just think, oh, something got in the way? The reason we have Year of Clarity is for you to be able to sit down on a call with other people and actually do this. And it's really, really bloody important that you value this time, because this can be the difference between you achieving a goal and not, or you achieving 100 grand in revenue instead of just achieving 50, or you really pushing and hitting that stretch goal of £800,000 in revenue instead of just hitting 500. Joining Year of Clarity can give you some structure around this. It can give you some kind of non-negotiables around it so that you actually rock up and you actually get this all set up and you get it going and you get it moving. And for some context, we've had some people who've joined year on year, so every year that it's been running, and they just consistently turn up, and it's part of their monthly business sort of activity because they know that they need to do it. The people that have been inside of, have experienced Year of Clarity, some people stay for 1 year and they leave, some people stay for 2. As I say, we're entering our 3rd year, so I can't really comment beyond that. People have done some really amazing things. They have, grown a team, they've increased their revenue, they've had more PR opportunities, they have, I'm trying to think, what else have they done? They've taken more time off because they're actually intentional, so they actually build time into their year so that they can actually take time off and be paid for it. We've had people who've launched things that they've wanted to launch for years and have always put it off, people whose confidence has really skyrocketed. We've just seen results across the board, across those categories we talked about, massively increase from actually sitting down and having purpose to what you're doing and having a kind of coaching program, which I don't know if it really is a coaching program, but some sort of group community coaching program that allows people to get really honest and open with themselves and be really intentional about what it is that they're doing. The one thing I would say is really important in terms of if you're sat thinking, do you know what, I need to do this and I want to guarantee my 2024 goals, I want to make sure I hit them. In order for this to work, you have to commit to the process of it. If you dip in and out, you will get a dip in and out result. If you don't do it and you do it once and you never do it again, then it isn't going to do anything for you. But if you decide today that you're do you know what, I'm going to sign up for Year of Clarity, I'm going to make this work and I'm going to go for it, and you're I'm going to turn up to every session no matter how bad the business is or how good it is or how much I'm happy or how much I'm sad, if you really commit to it and commit to doing the work afterwards, of actually doing what you say you're going to do in that session, because that's the other piece, yeah? You create a plan, you look at your reflection, you decide what you're going to do in the next month. You've actually got to go and do it. If you don't go and do it, it's not going to help you. But if you actually commit right now and say, do you know what, I am actually going to do this, and this is a priority to me, and this is important to me, then that gets really exciting. Because you will reap the rewards from that. But you have to commit to making it work. Otherwise, it's kind of a waste of a 20-minute episode that you've just listened to. If you're oh, this sounds really fun and this sounds good, you got to commit to it. But I know you're hungry for it, right? You're ready for amazing things to happen. And therefore, really carving out time and gifting yourself time to work on your business every single month as a non-negotiable is so, so important. I can't stress it enough. Working on your business is key, and it can't just be done once a year, twice a year. It needs to be done on an absolute minimum monthly basis. Absolutely minimum. And you're not alone if you can't do this on your own, right? That's why this exists. This is why Year of Clarity exists. It's why we have it. Because everybody struggles with this stuff. if you want to come and join us, come and join us. I cannot wait. We are kicking off in January. We've got loads of fun things happening. At the moment, we've got our Black Friday promotion, which is our once a year sales, the only thing that goes on sale in the business. We don't put anything ever on sale apart from this. And yeah, I hope you take use of the promotion, and I hope you enjoy it and you come and join me. And I will be really excited to support you for the whole of 2024. It's a 12-month program, and I can't wait to be your business coach, advisor, really sit alongside you as you grow and scale your amazing business. I hope to see you in Year of Clarity. I hope to see your name pop up on the list of, on the onboarding forms and on the list of people who've decided to get their business in check and to really dedicate themselves to the monthly business health check every month. I will speak to you soon. Join me next week for the episode. Please leave us a review if you enjoy these episodes. Have a binge of the other ones in the mini series if you fancy. We do have quite a few episodes now in that little 2024 prep thing. And as we enter December, there will be an episode, there's the podcast episode. So we will continue on the process of reflection and on the process of thoughts for 2024. Thank you for listening, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.